Welcome back to Flip and Friends. I am Kenneth Davis. Follow me at That's Davis. Of course, executive producer of the show, Ryan Bukovetsky. Follow him at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram. Always, you can check out Jason Kessner. Follow him at JF Kessner. Last but not least, always with We Are Regal Radio and Second City Sports, Sidney Brown. Check out Sid at SidKit80. He's not getting older. He's just becoming a classic, you guys. And you enjoy that classic. You enjoy it all the way. So listen, it's been a lot going on this week. Lately I've been trying not to have these shows be ultra heavy, but we're never afraid to touch on anything. I've just been observing, especially just the stuff that's taking place with the shootings in Minneapolis, from what we talked about, the situation with the second lieutenant from Adam Toledo being shot here about 2 weeks ago here in Chicago. But I noticed with the Adam Toledo situation, if anybody doesn't know, I guess it's been national. 13-year-old man was being in pursuit with a Chicago police officer. Young man turned around, had his hands up, and just dropped the weapon that he had on him, and the officer shot him and then tried to resuscitate the young gentleman. The reason I wanted to start off with this is it's funny how the breakdown between racial lines with this, to me, I've just paid attention to. Here in Chicago, I know, like out yesterday, some places downtown was definitely boarded up, but they said they were getting boarded up because Derek Chauvin, the officer that murdered George Floyd, his trial is coming to an end, and probably the verdict will be announced this week. They in Minnesota, they have the kids staying home in school in the middle of the week. Now, listen, I think Chauvin's going to get hit, but when they start doing stuff like that, that's always a sign that word is out. We may not like the verdict, and the town's going to burn. All right, I hope not, because most people have come out against him as far as the other federal police officers, the police commander, so on and so forth. But getting back to the Adam Toledo situation, I see a lot of people on social media pointing out, and justifiably so, that he was a young man out. He was about 2:30 something in the morning. He was with a 21-year-old man. What was he doing out, and what was he doing out with ill intent as far as holding a weapon? And I understand that, even though, I was a kid that occasionally at that age I was out. If sometimes younger, out that late. Now I wasn't holding heat. But still, Jason, I wasn't holding heat, but still, I could have been compromised myself by being out at such a late time. Not all the times I wasn't just being the greatest person. Again, I wasn't some drug dealer or anything like that. I feel sorry for the kid's family, and I think that's what I want people to focus on most. I'm not castigating the Chicago police officer that took this young man's life, because it was a quick bang play, even though the young man had his hands up. So you can see it from both sides with this one. But I just find it that people, I don't know, the empathy, I think, is missing to a certain degree, where I can see both sides of something. I think some people look at it where we're getting too soft, and you know what, kids kill people too. You look at all these carjackings and situation like that, and that's true, but it's still messed up that these kids kind of fall in between the cracks when it comes to the holes in society that can dredge you down and put you in these precarious situations. And that's kind of what I want people to think about. I'm not saying that this young man was a saint, but he was still 13. Listen, this kid is a year older than my son, my oldest child, which I keep forgetting that. Kenton's 12. All right, this kid's 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? It took a bullet to the chest, or at least I believe the chest. So again, I'm not saying, man, you know what, he was out there, he deserved it. That's too far to me in general with anybody. You know what I'm saying? You can be an adult, and I will hope that if, you know what I'm saying, you put your hands up, you don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? That could be with anybody, and again, I'm not blaming this cop. Every time a cop does something, I don't want to see that I don't want to come off and say, like, they just wrong, they're wrong. It's a hard situation to be in. But again, the kid had his hands up, but it was bang, and I shouldn't use a sports analogy with something as serious as a teenager. You could basically say a preteen. Just think about a preteen being shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to grasp how everybody kind of took it. And I wanted to ask you guys your thoughts on the situation as far as the young man being killed, but also kind of people's reaction to the situation.
Well, for me, I think when you're saying the lack of empathy, I'm really starting to feel that just overall. I mean, anything with gun violence in general, it seems like we're all just kind of like used to it. And now with police violence, it's starting to feel like we're just kind of getting used to it. And the empathy is just not there like it was before. Because it's just like maybe people can't just constantly feel that empathy or want to feel that sadness. So they just maybe try to block it off so that they can live in ignorant bliss. I'm not sure. But for me, it's just like we really need to do something. Like, let's go. Like, what are we waiting on? I would love for our governments and politicians, some leaders, we like actors and, philanthropists and really rich people sometimes take causes on themselves when like leadership of government isn't doing anything. I'd love to see some more of that. Like maybe let's try to cut down on this gun violence. And if police need more resources and things like that, well, let's get it done. If they need less resources, let's get it done. I mean, let's try to really actually figure out something and get it done, because it seems like the more this keeps happening, whether it's shootings in grocery stores or innocent people, and maybe not necessarily right, exactly. People just have their hands up. Like that should be, you go to jail or you're in the back of a squad car, not in the back of an ambulance taken to the coroner or something like that. I mean, it's just terrible. And I really would love to see more empathy in general. And maybe that empathy would lead to a little bit more action.
See it?
I believe as an issue, we have become desensitized to violence because we see and hear about it every day. We can take it back to many, many years. And so I won't do that here, but I get the lack of empathy that you're talking about, Ken. Just look at our skin color. And it's not just a Chicago thing. It's a nationwide society thing. If a 13-year-old black or brown kid is shot, in the back of some people's minds, including people that look like us, not us personally, but people that look like us, he deserved it, wrong place, one time, or what have you, without knowing the whole story. If a white kid does something, even he could do the worst crime in the world, he'll get sympathy. It depends on what the situation is, but if it's automatically a black and brown kid, all the stereotypes and the negative thoughts turns up in many people's minds. Now, how do we stop the shootings? I'm not going to sit here and say I have all the answers because I don't, but I know people talk about gun laws this and gun laws that. Where has it gotten us? I'm just asking the question.
Are they proposing any, Sid? Are they even doing any laws? I feel like it just doesn't matter. Like maybe
I know people keep talking about it. After all these shootings, we need stricter gun laws. We need to go to Congress and do this. We need to go to Congress and do that. And I know nothing gets done overnight, but this epidemic keeps happening, and I don't know what else to do. We have to do something. I just don't have the answers.
And I'm agreeing with you. Like, I'm just trying to think, what are the gun laws that people like? Remember, was it Trump? Like, let's take off like the bump clip or something off assault rifles. Like, that's the last one I really remember. Like, it's like we know it's a problem and we don't want to do anything about it. Like, let's just keep ignoring it. Just let it go. Let's focus on whatever else comes up in the media that we can focus in on. Like, there was a shooting, but Afghanistan, we're pulling out.
With the police violence thing, though, with the two shootings this week that are well documented here in the Midwest, like laws aren't going to change it unless we actually do say, okay, you can't confuse your taser for a gun because you only get the taser or the baton. That's it. Going to be like the UK police force where you don't get a firearms standard issue if you're a police officer. I think the best take. The thing that resonated with me most about this local situation, I think I woke up to it this morning. I still follow Matt Batacola from the back of the day with B&B. He alluded to the fact he was out till 1, 2, 3 in the morning at 13, sometimes driving cars illegally at that age. And there was no expectation, and no one would have expectation that because they're doing something wrong and illegal like that, they would be shot by the police. They'd get tucked in, basically. So, I mean, I think there is a lack of empathy, specifically for Black and brown kids. Very dehumanizing. I mean, the rhetoric that we talk about these things, even locally with the news, says all you need to say, and it's been that way for years. I don't know how to change that, because it's the language that the police force uses, and it's the way that the nightly news and the reporting gets done. Plays into this. I don't know how you get to the root of it, go back to zero to start responding to these things with a little bit more humanity.
Yeah, and I'd love to see the end of that whole, like, what is he doing out till 3 a.m. thing? Like, that's enough. That's enough of that kind of crap. Like, everybody does it. When you're in middle school, early high school, what are you doing? You're trying to get to bed at 10 p.m. on a Friday night? Like, get out of here.
I know, again, I was a kid that there'll be some times in Inglewood, there'll be some times in the PJs, there'll be some times, probably less around my house, which I don't stay that far from, but even my house, I may come in, if I was with my older brother and we were out running the streets with his friends, I may come in at 1:30. I've come in, like, my parents, unfortunately, they placed a lot, they thought I was pretty responsible, and they weren't on their shit sometimes. Right, where they should have, like, my ass should have been in the house, right? And I mean, there were times where, again, I wasn't packing a gun, and I can't remember too many times, but I'm sure there was definitely some times where I was breaking the law. So I mean, like I said, and I wasn't a thug or anything like that growing up, so I'm not even trying to come off like that. But if I'm a kid that is viewed at some parts as being quote unquote a good kid, I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing. Like, and it would have been. People would have said that about me. Like, what the hell was he doing out there that late? My parents, I know my father would have been real upset with himself if something would have happened to me during those times. Like, damn, why was he out there that late? And he probably would have blamed himself for it, knowing how he was. And not to say, again, my parents, they should have been more responsible when it came to that type of situation. But like I said, I was out there, man. So I feel sorry for this kid. I feel sorry for his family. I feel sorry for the facts that they didn't have control over this kid. I mean, the 13-year-old kid shouldn't be outside hanging out with some 20-year-old man. But I'm not dissing them, because this is the type of shit that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, I snuck out of the house. There's nothing my mom could have done.
You are, that's, I mean, point blank. Listen, Ryan, I wasn't sneaking out the house. I just didn't come in when I was supposed to come in.
Maybe Adam did. Maybe Adam.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Had no idea.
You're right. You're totally right. I haven't heard anything about that situation. What I've come to see from what Mayor Lori Lightfoot kind of pointed out, it seems like she alluded to the family tried their darndest to get this kid off the streets, and the streets is a powerful drug. To say it for real, the streets, it's hard when you get the streets in you to let the streets go. So that's just the thing. Look, reading some people's comments, and like sometimes we want to take such jabs. Like I like to take jabs with like funny stuff or like clearly black and white situations. Yeah, but no, I'll take it serious. Like if it's just apparently racist, but I also try to get the facts. I try to get to the facts of what happened, because a lot of this with the state's attorney that came out and said that the boy had the gun in his hand when he turned around, and that alluded to that's being the reason the cop shot him. To the video coming out highlighting that when he turned around, his hands were behind his back, that it seems apparent the gun was still in his hands then, so he dropped it when he went up like that. I'll say this much, and I saw this young lady say this for cops. Everybody wants to get home. I think that's how we let off the show, that David show this week. Everybody wants to get home. So, the police officer wants to get home. Definitely that young man wants to get home. But you signed up for that responsibility for the police officer. I'm not knocking police, because I want to say this. If that young man turned around and the police officer had put his hands up, but let's just say he had the gun, but the police officer didn't necessarily recognize it right away, and he shot that police officer would feel stupid as hell for not shooting that young man. I want to point that point out. But the truth is, he didn't have the gun in his hand when he put his hands up. And I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. The young man, and I'll say this too, and this isn't coming down on Adam Toledo. I said this because I've seen a lot of some black kids doing this. I'm not trying to do it through racial lines, but black and brown kids need to pay attention to this. You have to be demonstrative, and I mean that in a positive sense, when you're surrendering yourself to the police. You can't half-ass do it. You got to get down, say what you're doing, and point it out. Like, I don't think they train these kids. I remember my grammar school teachers telling us to look out for Officer Friendly. Like, Officer Friendly are playing a gun on you. They used to teach us this in black Catholic grammar school, right? Like, hey, watch out. This is what our teachers used to tell, especially us boys. Like, hey, watch out. I remember seeing, and I know me and D used to always talk about this. It was, I think it may have been in India. I don't know where it was, but this came out like 7-8 years ago. It was a young man at a gas station, and it was a traffic stop. And the young man gets out the car. The cop has the gun on the young man. The cops ask him to get his ID or his registration. The young man, right, turns around, dives back into the car, right? The cop plugs him like 6 times. The young man's like, why did you shoot? I think the young man said, why did you shoot me? And the cop, I forgot what happened, but the young man said, I was getting my license and registration like you said. How I grew up, you knew damn well not to do that because these motherfuckers will plug your ass. The last thing you want to do is make any quick movements around a cop with a pistol. And I'm just saying that for everybody. If you listen, give it up. All right, I tossed the gun, you know, like I'm being honest, because that gentleman does not know. All right, just so if you're caught in that situation, be clear with your actions. This isn't time to be coy. This is time to be like, hey, I'm surrendering myself. All right, like make it apparent. Be demonstrative with your giddy up. All right, I just want to point that out. But I just thought it was an unfortunate situation, and I wanted to lead off the show. Hopefully, with everyone involved in that situation, they can, I don't know, get some sense of relief down the road, I guess I should say, because there's nothing good right now coming from that young man's death and that officer taking that young man's life. All right, on a lighter note, the Pentagon officials, this is from the HuffPost, have confirmed that leaked photos or videos of an unidentified aerial phenomena were real, captured in 2019 by a Navy pilot. The identity of the triangle or pyramid-shaped aerial object remains a mystery. The Defense Department isn't sharing what it knows. The photos and videos were first published by Mystery Wire and Extraordinary Beliefs website. The objects were photographed zipping over the USS Russell off San Diego in 2019, July, according to investigating filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. Photos of 3 unidentified flying objects reportedly taken in March of that year, one spherical, another acorn-shaped, and one described as a metallic blimp, were also taken by the Navy personnel. The Pentagon spokesperson Susan Go told CNN. Ryan, let's see that beautiful footage of that alien aircraft.
Meantime, UFO sightings in New York have nearly doubled since the pandemic began, and we are getting new video from the Navy showing pyramid-shaped objects flying in the sky. Brian Yennis is live for us in Brooklyn, New York. Brian, good morning.
Trace, good morning. This extraordinary video and images of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, were leaked to investigative reporter Jeremy Corbell and investigative reporter George Knapp. This night vision video purportedly shows 3 pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the coast of California in July of 2019. At one point, these UFOs reportedly hovered just 700 feet above the tail of the Navy destroyer, making, quote, extraordinary maneuvers. Now, Corbell says the unclassified video is part of a classified government report intended to educate officials about unidentified crafts flying over restricted airspace. These cell phone photos taken by a FA-18 pilot in March of 2019 show 3 different unidentified aircrafts off the coast of Oceania, including 2 UFOs dubbed the Metallic Blimp and another called the Sphere. A Department of Defense spokesperson said, quote, I can confirm that the referenced photos and videos were taken by Navy personnel. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force has included these incidents in their ongoing examinations. However, the Pentagon was unwilling to confirm these 3 photos, which Corbell says came from the USS Omaha, showing a UFO diving into the ocean and disappearing.
All right. First of all, that lady that was behind that reporter with the baby, wouldn't it be funny if the UFO just picked her ass up and the baby right when she's reporting it? Like, that shit is real to the mother. All right. Real quick, because I unfortunately find myself in the past, not as much now, falling down alien astronaut theorists, which I love these people. Rabbit holes, right? Because one, black people can never build nothing with these people, right? Like, how did they stack these blocks on top of each other? Yes. But listen, all right, two things. Now, I can only one, that metallic blimp is just a blimp. All right, let's stop. That's a blimp. All right, but two, the pyramid shaped one. Anytime on those alien shows they show the pyramid shaped ones, it's like alien ship from like the 60s or 70s. Like, what's this old? Like, that is not futuristic. All right, whatever. Like, that's like somebody's deuce and a quarter alien ship or something, right? Like, who stole their granddaddy's aliens? But the thing is this: that one, I think what they're kind of let us know. This is my opinion. This is just old weapons that they got. They're finally gonna let that old buddy out, the pyramid shaped one. Because why do this is the thing too? Why do alien ships need to have a flashing light to let other planes and stuff know where it's at? Like, why was it flat? Like, you're on outer space. Why? That makes no, like, why did it had a flashing light like an airplane on it, right? Like, just to let you know, like, why is that? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's just some old KGB weapon or something, right? Just pop. That's my theory, but I want to find out what you all think. And yes, I think we all believe that there are aliens out there, but I don't think they was riding in them joints right there.
I thought I was watching an old HD version of the Gulf War clips from '91.
Good point, Sydney. Good point, Sydney. It did look like that.
Lights.
right before they went from Desert Shield to Desert Storm, like
right.
Just right here. Right?
Where's General Schwarzkopf when you need them?
The thing for me was I was like, wait, we got the fighter pilot with his cell phone? Why is this not hands-free? Like, time out. Hold on. I know it's been a long time. I know they didn't have, cell phones back when Goose and why can't I think of it now? From
Maverick.
It's going when Goose and Maverick are out there. But seriously, like, there's got to be a co-pilot with like an actual camera / what are you doing with your fighter pilot? Like, he's going to crash into somebody's home and it was subdivision in like, I don't know. I can't think of a good San Diego suburb, but at the minute to say that they're just going to like go right into the roof. But why a cell phone photo when you're a United States Air Force pilot? That should be, I think, no off limits, right? Am I crazy?
I don't know, Jason. I think it may be okay.
Jason, you haven't seen the TikToks then of all the
No, I have not. I have not seen the TikToks from the cockpit. Emphasis on the cock.
You got some work to do, my friend. You got some homework. Funny enough, we had some fighter jets flying over this morning. Those things are insanely loud. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It was like, because I live right by an airport and there's planes flying in all the time. It was at least 10 times louder than any jumbo jet flying in there that Southwest has. But I'm starting to really believe in this UFO thing. I really am. I'm starting to think it's a Men in Black situation going on here.
The desert got to him, guys. The desert has got to him.
Exactly.
It's not those. There's a mounting evidence of these things.
No, it's not. Listen, I think we all believe in UFOs, right?
Right.
But I mean, technically, those are UFOs for us because we can't identify them. I think the government knows what those weapons or investigation, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think your theory's wrong.
Yeah, I still think they're UFOs. I don't think they just picked them up on there. Now, they didn't show us live footage of whatever they said dipped down into the ocean. All right, they didn't. Now, I would have loved to see that, but like definitely the metallic blimp.
You're telling me the Blink 182 Tom, I'm forgetting his last name, those UFO videos did nothing for you either?
I believe they're UFO. I think the triangle one is from this planet. All right, like that. I've always thought that it's not sophisticated.
See,
like
a little problem
alien
with
is.
Your argument though is we can't. Let's pretend it is alien technology for a minute. Let's just assume that. If it's flashing, we have no idea why it would be flashing. Like, we think it would be like a radar thing. What if it's like a sensor thing that's compiling data or something like that? How do we know?
Okay, wait. So aliens that can transverse the galaxy would need for their sensor to work. It would have to flash to let you know.
Is so shiny that a little bit of night sight came off of it and blinked off of it. How do we know?
So wait. Again, something that flies through the darkness of space.
And then the other thing is, so if a ship comes down and flashes light, Ken's just like, dumbass alien technology. It's even allowed to flash light. You gotta do something better than that. What if it's doing something, but because they're from a different dimension or galaxy with totally different natural laws, that to us it comes off as light when it's something totally different.
Wait, now the alien ship is going to have to check with the flight tower when they're landing to be like, "Hey guys, is that clear? Are we clear to land?"
That's my problem. What you're saying? If it blinks that's.
I'm just saying, that's what you're saying. Hey guys, is it clear for us to land right now?
What a piece of shit! This is dumb.
Since Ryan's gone deep down the well of being a believer, I will go on
being a believer. Now we're throwing me way
into the denial phase. Not that there is not life out there on other planets, but I very much believe in the philosophical principle that for intelligent space traveling societies and civilizations, the inherent tragedy is that we won't ever make contacts with each other based on the vastness of space and also, the temporal nature of life. So I think it's out there. We might find some microscopic stuff, but we're not going to have conversations with little gray men anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah, I think
all of these are just secret weapons, by the way. They are all terrestrial.
Well, we all know
exactly
100% that there's microscopic bacteria somewhere out there. We all know that. So why is it so impossible to believe that there is way more advanced than microscopic?
We won't that. Yeah, it's out there. We are just
then why is it
millions of light years apart?
That because space is so grand that they could, what if they have wormholes? How do we know that they don't have that? And you just cut through the entireness of space.
I'm not disputing the possibility. I'm not disputing the possibility.
Turn on the wormhole openers. Start flashing that shit.
See? You're ridiculing it. You don't think it's even possible.
I'm not disputing the possibility of making contact with another advanced civilization.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? When it started backing up, how it let you know it's backing up.
There's bacteria, but there's no way there's a goddamn wormhole that
Hold on. I'm trying to back this bitch up to Officer Turner real quick.
On top of that. With the flash. Oh, that's totally fake.
Odds are against, even if two advanced civilizations exist on different planets. Odds are against that we ever cross paths. Because
1 in a million are bad odds, and then 1 in 100 are bad odds. What are
it's like 1 in a trillion, man. It's the universe is infinite, man.
Impossible. So impossible.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm going with this. Is what I was trying to say, Jason, that it's terrestrial, as you implied.
Yes.
Let's think about it like this: we never talk about secret weapons, and so all these people with money, Saudi Arabia may have, China may have. We always think it's just us and Russia. There's a lot of other people wanting to know our weapons capabilities.
People also get off on all this stuff of what weapons the Nazis had. That was 70 effing years ago now. We get some of these documentaries about Soviet technology. That's been 30, 35 years ago.
Exactly.
I think we're going too far. We're talking I'm saying aliens are going too far. Aliens are here. No one's saying it can't be weapons from Earth. I'm saying, why is it so insanely ridiculous to think that is even a remote possibility?
Because of how they look. They look.
Technology.
Yes, that's how they look.
The technology. How do we know what the light and the thing is doing?
If the technology isn't at least as good as things in Star Wars and Star Trek, then that shit is bullcrap.
When did you guys go on a spaceship so that you have this frame of reference? Trust me, I've been.
When I was abducted. The time that I was abducted.
Yeah,
if Oscar wouldn't fly in it, it's not good enough to be alien.
That was the anal probing, by the way.
Fantastic. Wow. Listen, do you have the History Channel down there, Ryan?
I was thinking about
Friday.
that.
Listen,
All
Friday,
times
because
fun.
Friday and
By the
Saturday
way.
is your day. Today's your day.
Fake.
All right.
I would trust aliens coming here more than the History Channel. I'll tell you that.
That Ancient Aliens guy's got a word or two for you.
I would trust aliens before I'd watch Ancient Aliens.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, they have your ship on there every week. Your little triangle ship. All right. With the light in the middle of it.
And then they talk about the Bermuda
one that you
Triangle.
and Jason went to. I had no idea you already went on one, so you knew that blinking lights isn't even on aliens.
Listen, I didn't know how futuristic. I didn't know fluorescent light bulbs were so futuristic until we started doing this
Right.
show today.
I didn't know that either until you guys went on that ship.
I'm
That's
waiting
a
for
future
Ryan to tell me that the wormhole
Wait, when
exit.
did you guys go sailing on the Pacific again that you saw that? I forgot.
I'm just waiting for Ryan to tell us that the exit ramp for the wormhole is the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah, oh for sure.
I thought that was the last where you guys went and you saw the ship, so you guys must know.
Oh my! Listen, I'll say this to you, Ryan. If you think the government will let us know that, right? Like the only reason they're telling us that shit is because that shit's about to drop sooner or later. It's like a preview. That's all it was.
It's just like with Chicago and the police tape. Like honestly, they only let it out when something else is going to happen. So,
Right.
But see, you're saying, okay, if again, this isn't the odds-on thing. I'm just talking about a potential theory here. And you guys are just trying to disprove me like
No,
I
you're
have all
not
the
listening.
facts here.
You're not
No,
listening.
listen
I'm
to
listening.
my
Okay.
thing.
Okay, go ahead.
let him put his tinfoil hat on.
No. And you guys aren't even going to allow this possibility. I'm not going to say.
I'm listening.
No,
Please
you're
continue.
not. All right. If we are going to assume that this is a possibility that there's actually aliens, because if you're going to say there's no aliens, then nothing about what I'm going to say afterwards even can be remotely possible, right? So we have to assume that it's somewhat real. What if the Pentagon doesn't have control over this? If something that advanced came here, they could put pressure on the Pentagon to release this stuff.
Okay, so that's not a bad one. First of all of us believe that there's aliens out there. I don't know why you keep going to. We believe
I'm
that.
saying the
We
one
just think
on
that
Earth,
that shit.
the one
yeah,
on Earth. That's all I'm talking about. Not talking about
I just think that low tech. I don't believe that right there is
Who are you,
it's low
sir?
tech.
Let me see that alien ship you designed that can go across.
If
Who are
you
you,
think,
sir?
wait. That
Where
shit
is
would have to
that
come.
rocket?
That shit would have to come from like Mars. All
You've
right,
been hanging out with
that's
Gavin
as far
too much.
as that little.
Gavin Patricia, the rocket scientist, too much.
Right.
All these theories.
It had a flashing light on that bitch.
What?
All right.
How do we know it had a flashing light? It flashed light. What if it caught light?
Oh, okay, sure.
Did he just start rapping?
I don't even know what the fuck is
like. What if it caught light?
I don't know what
talking about, Ryan.
He
said no. He said
put a flashlight.
I know. I'm just messing with him. I just want.
Wow. This was. You better cut this segment out.
Open your mind for this kind of
How? We're saying we believe it, but that shit looks
No.
janky. All we're saying is that
You
shit
believe
looks
that
janky.
there's a piece of bacteria 300 million miles
No,
away.
I believe both. I believe we will come in contact with bacteria on one of these close planets, all right? And I also believe there's intelligent life forms somewhere out in the ether. I just don't believe that
there's
shit.
like a space Atlantis, but I don't think we're going to see him.
Not in our lifetime.
No. And
You know how we know?
I think we can see it.
You know how we would know? Because they would preview that bitch. They would start giving us like,
Hey,
it look like we may have found
haven't
space
been sending out radio signals and television signals all this time. It is definitely possible that an intelligent being could have picked that up.
Oh, you know those radio signals are just Wanda.
We've
anyway.
sent out satellites. We've sent out
Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry.
the edges of the galaxy. If something's there, they could have picked it up.
Wow. All right, moving on. This is from People. Thousands of Black Panther fans are petitioning to recast Chadwick Boseman as King T'Challa in the upcoming Marvel sequels out of respect for the late actor's work on the character and to honor the hero's legacy. Petition was posted on change.org by E-Man's Movie Reviews to outline a call to action.
What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. After the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, Marvel Studios has announced that they are not going to recast the character of T'Challa within the Black Panther franchise. Because of this, there's a strong likelihood that they will kill his character off screen. While it's understandable that they feel that they are doing the right thing to honor the memory of Chadwick Boseman, I believe that a better way to honor him is to actually recast the role. The calls to action are very simple. Sign the petition, share it, and use the hashtag #RecastT'Challa on social media platforms like Twitter, so that way we can really make our voices heard with Marvel Studios and President Kevin Feige. Now, to be clear, this petition is not a call to immediately recast the role. I believe that anyone that has been impacted by the passing of Chadwick Boseman deserves the time to heal before we make any definitive decisions with the role. I should also mention that this call is not about the mantle of Black Panther. Let me say that again. This has absolutely nothing to do with who's going to be the next Black Panther or who should wear the mantle of Black Panther. This is about allowing the character of T'Challa to continue the same way he has always existed for the 55 years worth of stories in the comics. This is about giving the role of T'Challa the same luxury to add on to his legacy the same way other popular superheroes have done for decades. The typical reason why we see a lot of these characters recast is because they're deemed too important to lose or to forget about. Even though this situation is not the exact same, it still is not a reason to stop the portrayal of T'Challa. Because
listen, I think I said it on here months back. I think they should recast that character. I think it's too important, excuse me, to let the Black Panther go. You saw just from the box office numbers of how important it was, me being black. Listen, it was powerful. That was still, it may not be the greatest Marvel movie, but it's my favorite, or it's my second favorite, I believe. Maybe Endgame is now my favorite. But I loved Black Panther. I love the color. I would hate to see that character go. And as that person right there was saying, because we know in the comic book, Shuri picks up the mantle at some point, that he's not saying that you still can't go along with the storyline of having Shuri, the Black Panther's sister, if you don't know, pick up the mantle. But down the line, you need to bring in someone else to replace Chadwick Boseman. I believe later on in that article, it goes on to say Ryan Coogler was saying that that Chadwick Boseman would want that role. Everyone was basically saying he probably would want that role to keep going because he was about the collective. So I personally would love to see it recast. I think I'll say this, that's a huge pair of boots to fill behind Chadwick Boseman. So you need to be careful with who you recast it with. One person that I thought about, he's already showed up in the Marvel universe. Can't remember. I forget this actor's name. It's a gentleman from 12 Years a Slave that was in Doctor Strange. Jason and Ryan, have you seen Doctor Strange? He was the one that was like
the slave.
Oh yeah, the main character from 12 Years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would. He's a very good actor. He was also in a movie where it was like about like the typhoon and Fiji. It was really good. It came out like about 10 years ago.
I'm trying to remember. There's one movie like on the tip of my tongue that he was terrific. I can't remember.
But he was a person that I thought after Chadwick Boseman passed, I was like, he's a strong enough actor. It's a little too light skinned though, but he's a strong enough actor. We darky him up a tad bit. But I'm joking. But he's strong enough that I feel that he could fill those shoes, because that's a huge role behind Chadwick Boseman. But I believe you can't let Black Panther die. Unfortunately, I hate to say along with Chadwick Boseman. I think you have to reprise that character down the line.
Yeah, reprise the character. I'm with you, Ken. I think recasting another black man to play Black Panther is going to make those shoes so hard, I think, to fill. I think the natural is Shuri. Let her take over. She's a great actress. It's natural within the comics. It would be just great to see, I think, in general, like we've been trying to bring in more women as kind of the main superhero characters, like Captain Marvel, for example. This is a really natural one. It's like perfectly well built already within the movies and the comics. I think she would be the ultimate choice, but I guess if you wanted to just recast it and have someone else, That's a really good choice. I'd have to really think about that, though. Because you're right. You would have to have some acting chops and really be able to have the presence and command of that character to pull that off, especially after Chadwick.
Listen, there's a bunch of black British actors waiting to take some jobs over here that can probably fill that role. I could name a few from a couple shows. The lead actor in Lupin. Who else? He's not British. I think he's French. But listen, again, I think you should go through Siri first, Ryan. But I think you do down the line need to have a dude back, a black male, black in that character. Because I mean it's black. Like the E-Man said, these other characters they had new people playing. Listen, I know I hate to say this. I know he wouldn't play Superman anymore because that franchise at that point had died. But like when Christopher Reeves was unfortunately paralyzed, we were kind of like, damn. One, it was because Superman in our mind was paralyzed and put in that situation. But they still made more Superman movies down the line. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel that they should.
Well, I agree with you. I think it'll work perfectly. Like Siri, if she took over, that actress isn't going to play Black Panther forever. She's going to want to hang it up just like Captain America. And then you go right there.
Ooh, how many people have seen this last episode of Winter Soldier? Falcon. Okay. Oh, so, y'all gotta listen. We do a show on the weekend. You got to be current, guys.
I don't watch all this stuff, so
yeah, yell at them, man. You always yell at me for not being current. Go yell at them.
I got on WandaVision, but I gotta like what the Winter Soldier doesn't. No, you guys can tell me about it.
Oh no, you yell at them. You'll enjoy this. It's the dichotomy of race. Because of the stuff that's happened in the last year, Hollywood loves to take advantage of and be like, now let's use this race stuff, boy.
Yeah, but how Anatomy set the world on fire with their latest race episode.
So that episode was pretty dope. You mind if I spoil it? Anybody? You guys don't care about me spoiling it, do you?
Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So, U.S. agent. All right. That's who this guy's gonna become. At one point, replaced Captain America in the comic book back 30 or 40 years ago. So this dude that takes Cap's mantle. He ended up getting his hands on some super serum, and super serum is like $1 billion. It only makes you more of who you truly are. So he has a little murder streak in him, and he killed a man. All right, and it was in front of a bunch of people, right? So now Falcon gave up the shield because it was too much of a mantle for him. He didn't feel like he should step into that mantle. He donated it. Now, when he donated it to like the Smithsonian, he didn't expect that they were going to take the shield and give it to and make another Captain America. He didn't expect that, right? And the dude that took it from was like, "You're doing the right thing," right? He basically spun him like, "Yeah, the shield needs to have a home," but he didn't mean it. But as long as the home's not on your black ass arm, right? Can't stand your face, but
oh my god.
So anyway,
it was a descendant of Robert E. Lee. We find out
exactly. So Falcon and Winter Soldier ended up fighting the fake Cap or whatever, getting the shield back from him, and Falcon takes the shield to this old man that he found that was part of the super soldier program, but the government locked his ass up for 30 years, right? So he takes it to him, and the old man's like, "Man, I know you better not bring that shield here," you know what I'm saying? But he then goes to tell him like, that shield, no black man should even want to have that shield because of the convoluted history behind it between racism and what America is supposed to really truly stands for. And so you see in Falcon now, it's kind of like a watershed moment for Falcon to kind of really pay attention to how racist the world is in a way, because he's a military man and he hasn't, he knows there's racism, but he hasn't really focused in on the racism as he wants to please the man. So that's why on our text thread, the guys were like, "Man, yeah, this one was pretty good." And the actor that plays him, I forget the gentleman's name. It's on our text thread. We've all seen him in a ton of movies or whatever. But yeah, it was a really good episode about race in America. So that's why everybody on our text thread was commenting on it.
Just to backtrack to what we started with the Black Panther, question for you, but first, so people don't have to look it up if they haven't already Googled it. The actor we're talking about was Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is British and 43. I don't know if that affects anything with this.
We don't care.
He's probably the right spot. Yeah, right. Black Turn Crack. Is that what you're going for?
I mean, because what would we say? Yeah, that's a good point though, because you would think that Chadwick Boseman's character was probably what, oldest 30, maybe.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, how lucky his father
is like 35 max.
Maybe. So yeah, we could get down. We could get down to about 37.
The question for this would be: does the multiverse actually help? I don't know Marvel well enough.
Well, good point. But the problem is, everybody in the multiverse. Well, it can, because you may end up being it may be a female in another. I guess you could say that. But usually in the multiverse, it's that person. They're just in a different dimension.
So they're not different. They're not
like, you don't even look like me.
Well, it's usually slight differences.
He'll start looking like you so light.
Like it's like the Spider-Verse. Did you see that, Jason? Like that's what like the multiverse is usually like. Like it's the same person, but it's just slightly different.
Did you see the Spider-Verse, Jason?
No, that is actually one that's on the list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
On the list back in 2018 too.
Yeah, I got a lot of.
I got this new French movie I'm waiting to see, so I'll get back to that Spider-Verse shit. You guys,
watching it right now. Give me 3 years, and I'll put it on the list.
Hey, wait!
Hey, man, I'm finishing Clone Wars so I can watch Bad Batch right away. That's my priority.
Wait, does the girlfriend like Marvel?
Oh, she's kind of like me, where she's like, I haven't seen all of this stuff, and I got people telling me things, and I'm like, yeah, I know, me too.
I figured she didn't. Because if she did, your ass would be caught up on all this shit. You come here. Did you see Winter Soldier?
She is the one. She is the one who put me over the top that I needed to prioritize watching WandaVision as soon as I did. I was gonna like wait and watch it all at once, but instead I binged like 6 episodes. No, wait, it was 6 episodes. I think I watched like 3 right in a row, and then was like.
Listen, I'll tell you this, and you should live by it. In Marvel, we trust. Like these shows they're putting out. This isn't WandaVision, but it's quality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's quite, and it's not. They're not tiptoeing around shit like they used to back in the days. But again, it's because racism sells or social justice sells. I guess I should say. So it's quality. Speaking about justice, this is out of the Indie Star. A girls' travel basketball game in Westfield took a violent turn when a mid-court brawl broke out among a referee, a player, and several spectators. That ended with the team being ejected from the tournament. The altercation occurred over the weekend at the Prime Midwest event at the Pacers Athletic Center during a game between the Baylor basketball and the Indiana Elite. Baylor trailed 34-12 with 16 seconds left in the first quarter when his coach began arguing with the referee over a call. A technical foul was called on Baylor's coach, and the coach picked up her bag to lead the game. Her players on the team and staff moved to leave the court. Meanwhile, the referee continued to make his case with the team as a spectator appeared within feet of the referee, taking a video in the referee's face.
That little girl, like, just punching him when he flipped him.
He totally swung at that little girl, too. I was like,
I'm not even going to be. I don't believe you. I don't hit women. I don't believe in hitting women. At that moment, everybody and their mama was coming for that. I don't think he. I'm not saying that he didn't deserve it.
Right. Right.
At that point, you can't just let anybody get you with. whoa, you got to at least push her away.
Their mama's coming to hit you. Like, you're just swinging just to stay up.
Listen, did you see that little girl been fighting a long time? If you know any hood sisters, right? Like the Rock with shoulders. Like, listen, that right there was tasty to say the least. And then he flipped him.
Ooh, she went down on the ribs after he flipped him. Did you see that?
Yes, she got her some more in right there. Listen,
You
that's
tell she
squad.
grew up with some siblings in her house. I'm talking about the little kid.
Yeah, definitely. That squad goes right there. Woo, wee. Dude, now listen, I know what. Getting flipped like that referee had to wake up sore the next day after that one.
It's not on
the
hardwood,
hardwood?
man. It's on the hardwood, yeah.
It's on the hardwood? Oh, and they was beating on you. Let me tell you, these blacks was fucking me up. I can't stand these motherfuckers. No good.
Do we know what precipitated
That's why
all of
I
this?
beat him up.
Like, I know
listen,
we gave him a technical, but was there something said? Something
real quick.
racist?
Shout out to Ryan for getting the clearest video I've found of that incident, because every time I tried to enlarge it, it looked terrible. All right. But one of the ones that Ryan had sent me had like somebody that was announcing it.
No, I heard that
like,
one. That's the one.
Oh yeah, and he was
links,
like, "Look at how he switches, how to do with the camera, switches hands from he had the camera in his right hand, and after dude swung for it, he put it in his left, then he hit dude." And he was like, "Look at," I forgot what he called the young lady, but he was like, "Oh, check her out." And he's like, "Let's replay this right here like that." Listen, good job on that one, Ryan. No, Jason, on that video, that's what I was about to say. You can hear, I believe the guy with the camera is calling the referee racist as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's what he keeps saying, like, you racist as fuck. And dude basically was like, get the fuck up out of here. Right?
with his amped up as everybody was, I gotta believe the evidence shows that there probably was something to that. I'm not saying definitively, but everybody's pretty riled up at that point.
You know how passionate Indiana gets about their basketball.
True. I'll say this to the ref, man. You got to know when to hold them.
Right.
You got to know when to hightail it up out of there. Listen,
I'm not to slap somebody that's filming you right in front of you.
Like the man who got hit by Aaron Donald. Like, maybe don't pick that fight.
Wait, stop. Because we saw some new footage came out yesterday on Aaron Donald. Now, we didn't see what caused the fight. But we saw Aaron Donald was breaking up the fight. Aaron Donald. You say what?
Did you see the latest development?
No, this was yesterday.
The attorney of the person that got hit by Aaron Donald admitted now that it wasn't Aaron Donald's fault. The guy attacked Aaron Donald.
But did he still hit him? Did he still give him a black eye though? That's the important part for this story.
I don't know. But I know yesterday I saw footage of I take it these were Aaron Donald's friends. They was dropping those Fifth Ward D's on them, all right, as the Ghetto Boys once said. And listen, they was stomping and kicking dude, and Aaron Donald comes across and he pushes them all off a dude. And then the crazy
one of those.
Yeah, no, but he came through like he cleared the space, Jason. Like it's Aaron Donald. He comes he clears the space. Like he gets them like 3 feet away from dude, and then one of his friends that he moves grabs Aaron Donald and flips him to get Aaron Donald further away from the incident. Then one of the friends, I don't know if he moved him away far enough or he either comes back or he didn't move far enough. He kicks the dude and then he walks away.
Okay.
Hey, you got to be careful.
Again,
in these streets,
same lesson though. Know who you're with.
Dude, I remember sometimes being in Atlanta, right? And this is during the throw them bows era, right? And I'm saying, like, you're in a club with your drink. And I'm like, man. And listen, you know, Tyler, I'm one of those people, like, if I go to the club with you guys, at one point, I may dip off by myself just to get the vibe, check out the club or whatever. You know, let myself know I don't have to always be alone, somebody to feel comfortable. You know, I kind of put myself in that situation, right? So I'm in the club. And these fools, even the girls, but these fools are throwing bows crazy, right? And I'm like, man, if a motherfucker knock my drink down, I got to do something. But I'm like, dude, you out of town. You don't know who in here knows who. They are going to fuck you up, right? But I mean, still, it's like, what?
Good thought process. Yes, good thought process.
Do you remember sorry,
no, what did you say, Ryan?
Do you remember that video set in the chat of that, like, those two Ohio State football players in like the bathroom, and they like pick a fight with those two dudes
MMA guys
for like years and just beat that ass. Oh,
dude almost lost his eye or something. Like
like dude was getting hit like crazy now.
You might not be able to have a proper scouting report, but like, come on, use some context clues and some common sense when you're starting something.
Yeah, you better listen. You better know body language and be like, "Oh, wait, that's one of the motherfuckers you're not supposed to fuck with."
Right?
Yeah, right.
You have a strange "don't fuck with me" vibe about you.
You should be backing down to me about now, and you are not.
Listen. So wait. It's funny. So I thought about this. I was like, so Ken, if you're in the club and Aaron Donald, because one of the things when it first came out, people was like, Aaron Donald took dude's bottle or something. That was one. Well, that was one of the things on social media, right? I was like, if Aaron Donald took your bottle, what would you do? And I was like, man, at this age right now, hopefully I'll be like, shit, just let it go, Ken, right?
Let him have it.
But Aaron Donald, he's 300 pounds, you ain't going to beat him.
Let him have it.
What options do you really have after letting it go?
It depends on is he by himself or do I see the crew is with him?
Let's say by himself.
I'm gonna break a chair over that motherfucker's back.
That might not be enough.
That's true. That might not be enough.
I might not, but listen, by then y'all better be jumping this motherfucker.
I was gonna say you better be running, and other people better be running towards you.
By that time, I hope if that wasn't the siren, the bat signal to come out, shit, let's get this motherfucker. All right.
If the crew's there.
If the crew is there, he got that. He got that. I mean, because listen, from what I saw, one of those dudes was big enough to slightly pick Aaron Donald up, maybe, but to wrench him away and turn him up. You know how big you have to be as strong to do that to Aaron Donald?
Especially
so he was
when he's in that mode, like he's not going to be moving. This is like football Aaron Donald. Like
he's ready to be fighting back.
He's not like just going to be like, oh, let's easily move you. Like no, he's going to be like, get the fuck out of my way.
Whoa, Sid, what would you do?
I ain't messing with Aaron Donald. I'm sorry. I'm not messing with that, man. I'm not messing with that, man. Now, if you try to provoke me into something, that's different. But I ain't messing with that, man.
So you said Aaron Donald,
not a fighter.
So if you're in the club, Sydney, and Aaron Donald comes and takes your bottle, you gonna just let him take it?
No, if he takes the bottle and he doesn't touch me physically, you can have it. Now, if he starts pushing me and whatever, I have the right to defend myself. Then it's on.
All right, I got a better one. I know this is close and near to your heart. You have been dating the sexiest white woman you ever got your hands on. For 2 months, Sydney. For 2 months. I'm not gonna say like so. Y'all haven't been together forever, and y'all not together, but you know, like in your head, Sydney, y'all together, right?
Yeah, no, she's the one.
Yeah, like y'all have had sex and stuff like that, but you know, y'all still feeling each other out.
Right.
And he comes and right in front of you, and he starts macking her down like you not there. What you gonna do?
I'm stepping in, and whatever happens.
Woo! I knew I could.
I'm not saying I don't want to go to jail, but something's gonna get.
Stand prayer for Sidney Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, a drink is one thing, but my white woman, Sidney Brown, will not take that. He'd be like, Sidney Brown,
have all the drinks you like.
This is about to be some Sidney Brown. This, even though it's not true, this is about to be some black on black crime up in here.
I like the fisticuffs.
Then all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure I don't know if you've seen it, Jason, but like the Minds Playing Tricks on Me video with Bushwick Bill at the end, and like Willie D jumps out of the tree. All of a sudden, like Sydney, I come jumping out of the rafters of this place. Not Sydney. Yeah, not Sydney's white woman. All right, guys. Last one. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. In a scene, this is from HuffPost. In a scene caught by multiple traffic cameras, a driver smashed through a traffic arm of Florida's drawbridge, then made a dangerous leap as the bridge opened. The vehicle was briefly airborne on the Daytona Beach Main Street Bridge, which crosses Halifax River on Monday. Local NBC station of WESH said that the traffic arm had been replaced and that the police believe they have identified the driver. The gate also appeared to damage the vehicle's windshield, but it's not known if the driver is injured. Wait.
Get a couple more angles of it.
I was about to.
Ooh, some hair.
Was it that serious?
I mean, it's not Blues Brothers level, but again and again, it's also real life.
Here's where the damage is. This is where you're a total idiot.
Right.
Crash.
Yeah.
Look at that windshield. Just destroyed.
You know the wild part? Those things are really easy to break off. Like you really didn't hit you. I mean, you could have slowed down and probably broke it, but I mean, you would have slowed down and you wouldn't have. You would have to start back up to try to jump over the bridge and gave the bridge more time to open up. Listen, that shit was dumb as shit.
Unless are you going?
Unless somebody was injured, exactly. Unless someone was injured or giving birth. What the fuck was you?
Right.
They don't seem to be driving fast enough for that.
Is someone dying in the back seat? You're going to the hospital? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that one was wild. Florida.
My reservations.
Also, Ken,
we've got insurance.
If this is the last story, you cut my favorite part, not because of what it was, but because of what my reply was going to be.
What was your reply going to be?
The Jeopardy thing.
Oh yeah, we cut the Alex we cut the Rogers Jeopardy thing out of the show.
I want to go on record. What did you say, Ryan?
We can't talk about cut subjects. Those don't exist. And sends the list.
There's no other way.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
There's no other way for me to bring this up. I want to put it on the record that I'm firmly on Team LeVar Burton. Firmly.
Who's that?
What?
Look. Whoa. What now, Jason? Listen now, Jason Ryan.
Oh my God.
You watch your mouth now. Jordy from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Jordy.
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Okay.
The Reading Rainbow, motherfucker.
Now we're talking.
Yes. The perfect delivery, Ken. The angry Reading Rainbow theme. I love it.
Listen, when you first said LeVar, I was thinking like, why is he bringing up LeVar Ball? When you said LeVar Ball, I was like LeVar Ball. And I was like, wait, LeVar Ball, Reading Rainbow, Jordy, reading. Oh my goodness! Yep. Oh, listen, for you, Ryan.
A man is campaigning for that job, and he deserves it.
He's also known as this, Ryan. He's a fucking national treasure. That's who the fuck LeVar Burton is.
100%.
Whatever.
What? You don't whatever LeVar Burton.
I am whatevering LeVar Burton.
All right, guys, let's be at the airport. We're gonna go fly to Phoenix to beat the shit out of him.
You're scared without your vaccinations to even come down here.
Hold on. Have you ever watched any Star Trek stuff whatsoever, Ryan?
Not really. Like maybe a couple episodes.
How about Next Generation?
Like all together Star Trek, maybe a couple episodes.
So he's a black dude that had the hair.
Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I always forget that he was underneath that because it's not the same kind of face with that covering.
Oh yeah, use that for your fucking excuse.
Wow, that was a weak one. Yeah.
I watched a couple reading whatever's in school, and then a couple episodes of Star Trek. What do you want from me?
National treasure, just like he said.
National fucking treasure.
The next host of Jeopardy only burn this down.
All right. Listen, we always appreciate it.
On that note.
Listen. No, because listen, we're gonna leave on the foot. That was good. I'm happy you brought that up, Jason. We're gonna leave with the funny. You know what I'm saying? We opened up with tragedy. But we always try to bring you funny, and we always try to give you diverse reactions. This also too. And I'm not. This isn't 3D. All right. So these are generic things that I'm about to say. I'm Kenneth Davis. If you don't know, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. An urban kid that went to Catholic school. Maybe got into. Just give you a little background check, so you kind of get the characters here. All those different characters. All right. That's who I am. All right. Brash. Do a little sports things here and there. Below me right here on my screen is Sidney Brown, a guy that is a great sports dude, all right, loves white women, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason I bring it up is it's part of the jokes here if you don't get some of the jokes here, right? And you can love whoever you want to love, all right? Next to him is Jason Kessner. All right, used to be intern at Me&D many years ago. Has done plenty of things on radio in the suburbs. Doesn't enjoy to do the sports talk anymore, which is sad because he's really smart when it comes to sports. Big time, probably of both of our white boys here. I don't know, because they both real liberal. He may slightly out liberal Ryan. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I'll give Jason the love.
Yeah, but Ryan too. All right, just to give you the perspective, Ryan. Laid back,
Whoa! We're not gonna highlight Jason's women. Come on,
Ryan wouldn't let that go. I love how Ryan would let that go.
Oh yeah, so it's listen. We're real quick on you guys' boxes. Who's next to you on y'all box? Real quick.
It's the same for me as what you just described it.
Okay, so he's sitting. He's flipped. If you get why, right. He's developed a hankering for the sisters. Jokes. He takes it serious. He's fallen in love with a young black lady. All right, that's his first taste. All right, his first taste of the sugar. Oh, that's not your first taste of the sugar, man?
I had gone on dates with other black women and it hadn't worked out. This was my first time it worked out.
Okay, now when you say dates, did you end up laying down and doing the horizontal lingo?
Not that far, but we did.
Okay, so this is his first. This is his first. All right. He's got a taste of the sugar. He never wants to go home. All right. Again.
He's actually home. He's locked
again. Now listen.
Somewhere.
These are generic. This isn't truly defining who we are. I'm just giving you some of the levity.
But the bits.
Yeah, the
bits. Our Ryan, comedy bits, as we used to say.
Yeah. Ryan will sleep with your mama if you probably don't pay attention long enough. After he gets a liquor duck. Great producer.
How you doing, Mrs.?
Also, and we probably we probably all lean left, even though I probably have some conservative values. Sydney probably has the most conservative values out of all of us, which there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But just trying to give you a little bit of taste of who we are to get some of the jokes if you are just coming into this show. Always appreciate you guys. Today was a really funny episode. I hope we lifted up some spirits during this tragic time as Derek Chauvin is found hopefully guilty this week of murdering George Floyd. And then come back next week and we're going to pick you up again. And we always appreciate it. You can always find Sydney Brown on Second City Sports and on Rigger Radio. Jason is always here with us. And, you can find me and Ryan on That Davis Show. And also I am the host of NBC's Under Center podcast, which is dedicated to the Bears and the NFL. But listen,
draft time this week, baby.
Yeah. Also, we got to probably by the time we drop this, we dropped this on Monday. So Tuesday to tomorrow, we got an episode where it's me and Ryan and the guys from Keeping It at 100 on the Tape Never Lies network with Phil and Shane. So make sure you check that out as they come for us for Mac Jones. They coming for Mac Jones. All right. That's how bad shit is right now. They coming. What are you about to say, Jason?
I was just going to say, it'll be just like what we described, that situation with club where you smash the chair. We'll just all come running in.
Exactly. So listen, as always, really stay safe, especially during this trying times. And don't do anything stupid before you hear from us again. Sid?
We gone.